Hi, thanks for joining me Craft Little Things today. I'm Andrea and today I'm going to be making this lovely door curtain out of these gorgeous coloured yarns. I'll show you which ones I'm using. I'm not sticking true to pattern, but I'm not going far off it. So what I've got is this pattern calls for 450 grams of Rico Creative Cotton in white, which I am using. But it also asks for Rico Creative Cotton in different colours. Sorry. I'm actually using colours that I already had, and these are Drops Loves You and Drops Saffron yarns. So the Drops Love You is slightly thicker, that's recycled cotton, and the saffron is combed cotton. These are saffron and these are Drops Love You. Okay, and they're working out fine. I've got four of my granny squares done. You start off with the granny squares that go across the top, and you need 6 of those. I've got 4 so far. I'm going to kind of go like this for mine, and then these 2 centre ones are going to be a mixture of the 2 sets of colours. So right, so I just have 2 more to make, so I'm going to show you how to make one of these. They're very simple granny squares, and then when they're made I'll show you how to fasten them together. They fasten together in a strip of 6, and then you work a bit of lace at the bottom, you work some hooks at the top, and then you add on the strands. So I'm going to start off with a slip knot. So my yarn is over my fingers, wrap round, cross it over my fingers, hold it there with this finger, put my hook underneath the first strand and pull through the second, give it a twist and then pull it all off my finger and pull my working yarn, and I end up with my slip knot. Slides up and down my hook. And this is a 4mm hook, and the other thing you need is some yarn scissors, and you also need a needle for sewing in. I'm just using this plastic one here. So it's a very simple pattern. All we're doing is working in groups of 3 treble crochet if you're in the UK. If you're in the US, we're working in groups of 3 double crochet, and we're just creating corner spaces by adding chains of 3, and then we're creating spaces on the sides by a chain 1, and we're just doing the same thing and getting bigger and bigger until we get to this row. So this is row 1, 2, 3, 4. When we get to row 5, then we start to add on the individual double crochets. Okay, so it's very easy. So all we're doing is we're chaining 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move this out of the way so you've got a bit of contrast, and then we're taking our hook and we're putting it in the first stitch of our chain, pulling through some yarn for a slip stitch, pulling it through the loop on our hook, and that's creating a circle for us to stitch into. Make sure you do go into the circle and not into any other part of the stitch. And then all we're going to do is we're going to chain 3, and that just is our standing stitch, standing chain, and that just brings us up to the height of a treble crochet, or a double in US terms. Now for a double crochet or a treble in UK terms, we yarn over, put our hook into the circle, grab some yarn and pull it through. So we've got 3 loops on our hook, then we yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, into the circle, grab some yarn and pull it through. So we've got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we've got our first set of 3. If you look at this, we need sets of 3 all the way around. So then we need to create a corner, so we chain 3. That's all we do. And then we do another set of 3. So we yarn over, go into the centre, pull up a loop, so we've got 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, another one because we want 3 in total, yarn over, into the circle, yarn over, pull up a loop, so you've got 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now you've got your second set of 3, you want to chain 3 to create your next corner. Now yarn over, back into the centre and do another treble crochet, double in US terms. You want to do 3 altogether. So our third one, yarn over, into the centre, pull some yarn up, 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then chain 3 for another corner. And now we're into our last one now. Yarn over, into the centre, pull some yarn up, 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, into the centre, pull up some yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, into the centre, pull up some yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now we just have to create our last corner. For this one we're just going to chain 2 instead of 3, and that's just to follow the pattern that's in the book, but also because the slip stitch we're going to do now into the top of the chain 3 is going to sort of act as a stitch, so that's going to give us that little bit of length, and we don't want this we don't want this corner to be any bigger than any of the other corners. Okay, so that's it. So then we yarn over, pull through the loop on the hook, pull through some yarn and cut off. And that's our first part of the square made. Leave your white yarn to one side, and then we're going to do this one. So we said we'd do the blue next. So we take our blue yarn and pull it through one of the corner spaces, tie it on. I usually just tie on with 2 knots. You can make all of these the same colours if you want, it's entirely up to you. Pull through and just do 1 stitch to secure, and then chain 2, and that's to give you your standing chain. That's the equivalent of your first treble, or in US your first double. And now you do 2 more. Yarn over into this corner space, pull through some yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over into the same space, pull through some yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's your first group of 3. Now for this corner space you need to chain 3, and now you go into the same corner, and this is what you'll do right to the end of the pattern. Now you go into the same corner and you just put in another 3 trebles, doubles in US terms. And so now all our corners will look like that: a group of 3, a chain 3 and a group of 3. Now I need to just pull some yarn down because it's not going to do what I want it to do if I leave it, tie it on the ball. So now what we want to do is we want to go and do this again in this corner here, but we need to chain 1 just to reach us over there. So yarn over and pop 3 into the next corner. I won't go over what the stitch is because I think you should have got it by now. And then once you've done your 3, you chain 3 and you put another 3 into the same corner. 1, 2, 3. And then you want to chain 1 because you want to go over to the next corner and put 3 in. And then we're going to chain 3 to make the corner space, and we're going to put 3 more into that corner. So you know if you're going wrong because you've only got 1 set in the corner, or you've not got a corner space for next time, for the next round to go into. Okay, chain 1, come over to this last corner, yarn over, pop 3 trebles, doubles in US terms, into that corner, chain 3 and pop away those 3 into there. And then to finish, you need to chain 1 and you need to just come into the top of the standing chain, stick your hook in, pull some yarn through and pull it through the loop on your hook to finish for a slip stitch, and then just finish it off by yarn over and pulling through the loop on your hook and snipping off your yarn. Leave a straggler which you're going to sew in. So now you can see it's taking shape. You've got these corner spaces here. We sewed enough of this in for us to snip off so we don't get all carried away, and then the only one we need to snip off now is this one. So we're finished with this yarn now, so that can go away altogether. And then we're going to do the lime green, and the lime green is going to I don't know how this has happened. The lime green is going to be our next, well, we're going to do white next. No, we're not. We are going to do the lime green, sorry. So I've got plenty of that down. So I'm going to join that into a corner. So I'm just going to bring some through. I'm going to tie it on. Now, even though this is a much lower gauge than the Aran that we're using for the white, it's creating a lovely effect. It's very lacy and delicate, and I'm keeping my tension nice and loose. That means that I'm holding my yarn very gently and letting it really flow through my fingers, so I'm getting some nice big stitches. So pull that through on the corner and give it a little chain, and then chain 2 for your standing chain. And we're going to do exactly what we did in the last round. That's the standing chain, so that's going to count as our first treble stitch, or double in US terms. Yarn over, hook in, pull some yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and another 1. Exactly the same as last time. 3 chains for the corner, and then 3 more into this space again. So again, you'll know if you've made a mistake because you won't have 2 sets in the corner, or you won't have a new space for your next corner to go into. Okay, and this is kind of the basic granny square vibe going down. So this time we chain 1 because we want to go across the next space. We're not going straight into this next corner like we did last time. We're going into this next space. So yarn over and sew 3 treble crochet into there. Double crochet if you're in US terms. And my yarn's getting a bit knotty. Okay, so put 3 in there and then 1 chain to get across to the next corner. Always remember to add that 1 chain to get across, and then what also happens there is you create these spaces for the next round. So yarn over into the corner, and then we're back to doing our corner repeat. So that's 3 treble crochets, double in US terms, a chain 3 for the corner space, and another 3 double or treble crochet. So I've just done the chain space. Now I'm just doing the trebles. That's another corner done. So now we need to chain 1, and we need to go and put 3 trebles or doubles in US terms into this middle chain space. this pattern is just so versatile. You can keep on going like this and make it into a huge blanket. You can keep on going and make it into a cushion. You can piece pieces together as blankets. You can do it all in one colour and piece it together as blankets. So versatile. So chain 1 then, because we're going over to make the next corner now. So we put 3 in the corner. Oops. And then we chain 3 to make our next corner space. If ever your yarn tangles, best rule ever is don't pull it. Don't ever pull your yarn tight because you'll never get it out. The best way is to just gently sort of shake it and just rattle it about. Right, so we need 3. 1, 2, 3 chains to do our corner space, and then 3 more trebles. Doubles in US. 1 chain to get over into the middle, and there we do 3. And this is exactly what we do now all the way around. One chain to get to the next space, which is our corner. 3, because it's a corner, we do 2 sets of 3 with a chain 3 in between them. 2, 3, and the second set of 3s going in there. 2, 3, chain 1 because we want to get into this last side. Pop in 3. Chain 1 and then join to the top of your standing chain from the last round, from the beginning of the round. Join the slip stitch, then yarn over and pull through, cut off and leave a straggler to sew in. Right, so now we need to go back to white. I haven't even used a full ball of white yet, and I've done, this is the 5th one. So go into a corner, bring our yarn in and tie it on. This yarn feels so thick now compared to the other yarn I've been using. Tie it on twice. Right, you might want to cut those stragglers down a little bit. And then you'll bring them across the back of your work to help stitch them in. Right, so here we go again. So we put our hook in, pull the yarn through and do a stitch to secure it. And then do 2 more stitches, 2 more chains, and then we've got our standing chain of 3, which acts as our first treble crochet, or double in US terms. And again, we're going to do exactly the same. Yarn over, yarn over, pull through some yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, into the space, pull through some yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And there we have our first set of 3 trebles. And then we chain 3, and we put in another set into the corner, exactly as we did for the last 2 rounds. Pull through 2, pull through 2, and over, pull through 2. There we go. Now you might notice on here we have two spaces on the edge, another corner. So obviously this time we chain 1 because we want to get across to here. We yarn over and we pop 3 into that space. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1 because we're moving across again, and put 3 in that space. chain 1 because we're going to a corner, and we do our corner again. 3 trebles or doubles in the US, drop my yarn there, yarn over into the corner, pull some yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's for a treble, and we want 3 of those, or doubles in the US. Sorry, 3 of those, and then we want a chain 3, and we start back down the other side with our another set of trebles. So 3 more trebles in the same corner space. 1, 2, 3. And then exactly like the other side, we chain 1 to bring us over to this space and pop 3 into that space. Chain 1 to bring us to the next space and pop 3 in that space. Chain 1 to bring us to the corner, and we pop 3 in there. Chain 3 for our corner space, and then we start back along this side. Just going to excuse me a minute while I have a quick drink. It's very hot today. And so what we do is we have a yarn over and we have our 3 into the corner space. Chain 1 and 3 into the next space. Chain 1 to get us over to the next space where we put 3 more. And then chain 1 to get us over to the corner again, our last corner this time. Pop 3 treble crochet in there, double in the US terminology, chain 3. I think I might have to just bring that down because I'm really sorry, but my back is really hurting. Right, so I'm going to put 3 chain 3 and 3 into that same corner space to finish off. Would you believe it that I've started this video on every single one of these and something's gone wrong? That I've gone way out of shot, the dogs have started barking, somebody's come to the house, the phone's rang, deliveries, so many things have happened. Chain 1. And so this video might eventually end up being a mishmash of all of the ones I've done. I'll pick the best bits out of all of them. Chain 1, pop your 3 in there. Chain 1 into the top of that standing chain. Pull it through, yarn over, pull through and trim off for the minute, but you're going to need it again in a minute because you're going to need it for the final round. I just love these colours together, they're just gorgeous. I'm just going to trim off these because we've sewing those in. It's so much easier if you sew in as you're going round. Oh, my back, this back's killing me. Right, this next round's a little bit different because this next round is this one where we do the corners exactly the same, but then we chain one and we miss 3 stitches, and then we put our first stitch into the chain. We're stitching every stitch across until we come to this chain, and then we chain one and go into the corner again. So it's quite easy, but I'm going to show you how to do it if my back stops hurting for long enough. So I'm going to do mine in this pink. So we need to join the pink. So I'm going to pop my needle in, my hook in, pull it through and tie it on. Tie it again. Okay. I don't even know what this pain is in my back, but it's crazy. Right, so I'll get these stragglers to tie them in, just to work them in. So now then, exactly as before, we put our hook through, pull the yarn through and lock it down, then chain 2, and that's our standing chain. We do exactly the same as before, so yarn over, and we do a treble or a double in US terms and another into the same space. We chain 3 to make our corner space, and we do another 3 into the same space. Okay, so that's exactly the same. Then we do a chain 1, but this time instead of carrying on in groups, we're going to do single stitches, and instead of going into this space, we're going to go into the chain at the top of this space. So we'll miss these 3 stitches out, and we yarn over and we push our hook right into that chain there, pull some yarn through, so we've got 3 on a hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and now we stitch into every one of the next stitches until we've got 9. So that's 1, here's the next one, 2, 3, 4. I've gone wrong there because the first one's in the chain. I put 2 in the same stitch. Then we go into the next stitch, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 should be in the chain, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, and then 5 goes into the chain. It's a little bit more tricky to push it into the chain, but do get it in the chain. Don't put it into the space because it won't hold up your work as nicely. And don't do what I've just done and only get it into half of the stitch. You need to get it through both of those loops so it holds up nicely. 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, which will be again into the chain. Sometimes it's hard to get in the chain because it's a small stitch and it's quite tight. Chain 1 and then do our corner again. So that's 3. I don't need to tell you what the corners are anymore, surely. 3 trebles, doubles in US, 3 chains and 3 trebles, all into the corner space. And if you're really fast and you're ahead of me, then the next round is in white, chain 1, and it's the same as this round, only you do 11 stitches instead of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to be into the chain. 5, 6, 7, 8, 'Put my yarn down. I've missed one out there, look. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is worth sort of keeping an eye on those chains because they will tell you if you've gone wrong. Your first stitch, your 5th stitch and your 9th stitch should be in the chains, and when you're doing 11s, of course when you're doing 11s it's just your first and last stitch that are in the chains. So chain 1 and then you're doing your corner. Three, chain 3 and then 3 more into there. Chain 1 and then we're going to do it again over the other side. I'm just going to pull off some more yarn. You watch, the sun will go in now I've made this. I've had a real problem with flies coming in the back door, so I thought I'm going to make this to stop that happening. So chain 1, or did I already chain? I already chained 1, didn't I? Did I? Yeah. But I pulled it down now, so I'm going to do it again. Chain 1, and then yarn over and come into this first chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will go into a chain, so 5 will be a little bit of a tough one. There we go, 5, 've lost something there. 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Chain 1 and into our working out corner again. Okay, so yarn over, 3 trebles, doubles in the US, chain 3, and 3 to the corner again to finish that corner off. I'm trying to sort of leave my mistakes in because I want you to see that we all make mistakes. So chain 1 and then yarn over and into that space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is into the chain, which can be quite hard to get to. Sometimes you can think you're in it and you've gone right underneath it or right over the top of it. 5, just bring down a little bit more yarn. 6, 7, 8, 9 goes into that chain. Chain 1 and finish off with a slip stitch into the top of your standing chain, and then yarn over and pull through and snip off, leaving a tail for sewing in. And you see this, what happens here is it starts to give it a bit more structure. These all these single stitches start to sort of pull it out and make it nice and tidy. And so now all we do is we add the white final row. That's exactly the same as the row we've just done, except it's got 11 stitches. So where we do the corner, chain 1, and then we go into this chain, sew into all 9 of these, and then sew into this chain, chain 1, and do our corner again. So that's the only difference. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this 6th one off camera, and then I'll come back to show you how to sew them together and to do the lace work, obviously. Okay, so I'm just going to do the final round of this on camera. So into the corner, pull through some yarn and tie on. I'm actually really liking these. I mean, I just love that on its own. You know, you can use these as pan stands, trivets, coasters, whatever you want. You can use them as they are, you can use them smaller, bigger, whatever. That's what I like about crochet, it's so versatile. Put your hook in, pull your yarn through, and do a stitch to anchor it, and then 2 more chains. Then we're going to pop in 2 trebles, doubles in US terms, and then we're going to chain 3 for the corner, and we're going to put in 3. Whoops. You do see granny squares that are sort of made of the 3 groups of 3, and you also see granny squares that have the stitch in, the sort of more closed granny square. And this is I think this is the first time I've ever used both together in one granny square, so it's quite nice. So we just get my stragglers. So we've chained 1. Have I chained 1? Yeah, I had chained 1. So we chain 1, get our stragglers, and then we're missing 3 stitches, and our first stitch is going into the top of this, into this chain. So yarn over and then go into the chain stitch, get right into it, pull your yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and now you want to do 10 more. I'm going to get rid of these stragglers because they're getting right on my nerves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Chain 1 and then go into the corner, chain 3 and then do your 3 trebles into your corner. Again, I don't need to tell you how to do a corner anymore. It's so many times we've done it now. Chain 1, yarn over, go into this chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, into that chain, chain 1 and do your corner, 3, chain 3 and 3. Chain 1 and into that chain, just skip 3 stitches and you'll find the chain. Do a treble, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, don't know what I did there, 8, 9, 10 and 11 into that chain. I haven't quite got into it there, got into 2 parts of it. 11, chain 1 and we're going to make a corner again. So one, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 chains and 3 more trebles, doubles if you're sewing in US terms, and we're nearly done. Chain 1, yarn over, go into that first chain, so a treble, double in the US, and then 10 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the 11th is into the chain. I thought that might be my son coming home. I thought, oh no, please. I'm nearly done without the dogs going crazy. If they hear him come in, they're going to go absolutely insane. That's 11. Chain 1 and join to the top of the standing chain with a slip stitch, yarn over, pull through and cut off. I'm not going to cut that much off. And that's it. There's our 5th square, and I managed to film all of that one, so hopefully this will be the one that you actually see. So I'm going to turn it over, thread my needle, I'm just going to push it through the stitching where the stitching's nice and thick, back it on itself, push it through some more stitching, back it on itself, through a bit more stitching, and then cut it off. Okay, so there we go. So I've got 5 now, so I've got 1 left to do, and I'm going to do that one off camera, and then I'm going to leave it here for this video, and I'm going, because I thought it'd be nice for people just to see how to do the granny square on its own, because it's just really so yeah, I'm going to do the last one off camera, and then I'm going to leave it here, and then part 2 of this video will be the lace work and add in the strands. Okay, so I'll see you soon. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye bye.